Raise your voices, raise your glass high. Welcome to the Drink O'Clock Podcast. Let's dive. Oh, grab an old fashioned and join the fray. Raise your spirits, let the music play. From the corner pub to the dance hall floor. Drink O'Clock Podcast, we're ready for more.
Boom! We're live.
Finally,
This is the we are officially live. After all the
pregame.
fucking tech
It's a solid
issues, and then we
pregame.
were low on booze. It is a solid pregame. I do enjoy my pregames before the show goes live. That's where all the fun stuff happens. Typically, that's where all the juicy details go down right before you hit record. But this is the Drink O'Clock Podcast. I'm your host, Rob Valencius. I have the absolute pleasure with having Spiffy Sean Styles on the show. Now, let me get this straight. May I call you Spiffy? How do you go, Sean? All right. I love it. Spiffy, you're the modern day Renaissance man.
Yeah.
I read that a bunch
Good.
on all of your things.
The SEO is working then. The branding.
It works well. I like your website. Your website was good. You're an entrepreneur. You're a voice actor, musician, pro fucking wrestler, and you're a podcaster.
OnlyFans model. I've got great feet. $20 is $20.
Feetfinder.com, man. That's all I'm saying.
First of all, Rob, I don't like how fast you rolled that right out as soon as I brought up my feet. That's a little it's a little creepy, but that's okay. We're on it's a safe place. Right. What is it? Feet?
That's what we're here for.
Is that
man.
an actual thing?
It's a legit website where people sell pictures of their feet. And I have Fred Flintstone feet, so I would be your like D squad strippers on a Monday feet. They're not the pretty like Friday night stripper.
I forget who I was talking.
If that makes any sense at all. If I had to compare feet, to
and why
strippers.
wouldn't you? I mean, I was just having this conversation about like kind of like there's something for everybody. Like it might not be your thing, but like one of the things I learned about working in Key West is not to judge anybody else's kink because you don't know. Like, and that's great for everybody. Like to be a little more inclusive and say that not to be like hopelessly romantic right as we start the show, but there's someone out there for everybody, even if you happen to be a Fred Flintstone feet having guy, and whatever you might be into.
That's true, and I'll tell you, I've over the 3 years of doing this, I've interviewed some interesting people, and one of the guy I interviewed, he was one of the anonymous people, which I've had a few,
like the government, like anonymous people,
no, just like you can't. He didn't want his like no one knows who he is type thing because his kink was
what the fuck are you doing on a podcast if you don't want anybody like. Hi, I'm going to go ahead and get in front of a microphone and tell you, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Yeah. I think it was more, I don't know if it was more of like a shame thing. I still don't really know. It was I love those episodes because I'll have questions over here, but then the questions just start piling up here that make this so much better than what I have already. But basically the kink is like getting squashed. Like the women are like
I've seen that because of the
giants
wrestling thing where
or
it's like
men,
apartment
whatever
wrestling
you're
where
into.
you get like a big chick like sitting on a guy like actually sitting. So I live in Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh every year has
Philly.
That makes a little more sense.
Hey, look, I don't mind Pittsburgh, man. I
love
here
Philly.
for Pittsburgh.
So my band played in a place called Dewey Beach for like a decade. I had a house out there. One of my favorite things to do is to like go to the shore. Go to the shore is what well, Philly would say Jersey. They'd be on
the Delco accent.
Listen, it's Hoagie Fest. Like I get excited about that stuff. Like I'll fuck with Wawa.
Hey, we just got our first Sheetz in the area, and they put it right across the street from a Wawa.
And here's the thing: I'm a Pittsburgh guy, and I'm the first person to tell you that Wawa is infinitely superior to Sheetz, and that's I know you're not supposed to say that, as kind of a hometown thing, kind of like my turf, your turf. But Wawa's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Wawa, I think I always explain it like this. Like Wawa has like the more quality food. But Sheetz is a place where if it's 1 a.m. and you're wasted and you want fried mac and cheese balls on a cheeseburger with extra cheese, you can get that. You can't get that shit at Wawa. Now you can get a cheeseburger
so hard,
now, but...
all right, relax. Jesus.
I see you chubbing up over there, man.
Thank you. I'm a grower, not a shower, Rob. And I'm also thirsty, so I'm going to pour mine. I know that it's part of the show, so I feel somehow that I can drink this Jäger bomb bigger than my head for your people. Living the gimmick is what we call this in the wrestling business. So you got.
Is that you're gonna chug that, right? Or
your fraternity? No, I'm still a grown up. I'm gonna drink this with my pinky out, like the classy boy
drinks. Who drinks a Jäger bomb? That's a chugger, bro.
I would die. Like, listen, don't let the hair fool you. I am a man of a certain age, and but my band is actually.
What you're trying to say is you don't want your heart to explode on camera.
Well,
that would be good for the reels.
I almost did die. So that's put a plug in that because that's a real story. Second of all, my band has been sponsored by Jägermeister for like almost 15 years now. So I started the band that was originally just supposed to be to get like free beer and meet girls, which I believe is what most people get in a band for. However,
100%.
You know, I'm also a business, so I went to college for communications and psych, but my master's, I have an MBA in business. So most musicians are not the best business people. So I had sort of an advantage there where I can say, yes, you know, let's play music, but also let's get paid to do this, which is in fact my thesis of my self-help business book. It's a very short book. Chapter 1 is find something you love to do. End of chapter. Chapter 2, find a way to get paid to do that thing that you love to do. End of the book. So it's a very simple kind of concept, but it's something that has made me, and thank you for putting me over like that, the modern day Renaissance man, because what it has freed me up to do is literally whatever the fuck I want, you know, where like I wake up one day and I'm going to go play a acoustic music show. I'm going to wake up the next day. I'm going to do wrestling commentary for like television. I wake up the day after that and I'm, you know, so there's always going to be like a different thing. Like as the adult poster child for ADHD, I figured out a way to kind of make that work for me. It's absolutely not going to work for a guy that is a 9-to-5er, like a ham and egger, as Bobby Heenan would call them. And there's nothing wrong with being a ham and egger. You know, there's a lot of people out there. Most people are those people. But, you know, I did that. And I think this is better. Here we are.
Yeah, look, I'm a 9-to-5er. I do, you know, look, I love my
What do you
job.
do?
The people I work with are fucking awesome. They're like family. I work in the insurance world. It's kind of
it's
kind
like
of
a
hard to
Series
explain,
7 kind of
but...
like you're one of those people that like you they hooked you when you were like 23 and like if you tell all your family to sign up for it and then you get residuals, you have this, and then by the time you're whatever, you have a whole I've been one of those.
I feel bad for those people. Because a lot of times they get fucked.
It's always it's the same
bad.
racket. You know, not to get like I don't do politics as a rule, but you also caught me 3 Jäger bombs in before we started this show. Like, so now I feel a little more free to be like, yeah, well, that's what they do to you. That's what the man does. Like, you know,
they push you down. Yeah, no, we're kind of like I work more in the senior market with like Medicare.
You take advantage of old people? That's even worse. Somehow that's worse.
To be honest, some of the people I'm sure that we work with do, and that's unfortunate. But whenever you're dealing with sales, there's always a couple bad eggs that do some crazy shit. But we're in the senior world. It's kind of like we're the middleman between a company like, say, United Healthcare and an insurance agent. They don't pay for contracting teams and all this other stuff, and then we kind of facilitate that. So it's like being a middleman, and it has no impact typically on the agents. Now, the agents can sign some crazy contracts that they don't realize if they're not paying attention, which some of them do. But we're just a standard outfit, and my owners are they're just really cool fucking people, and they're like family, like, at this point to me, because I've been there for a long time. But I do hate getting up and having to ask somebody, hey, I feel like shit, I don't want to come in today. But I came from retail, dude. So I worked retail. I was a regional manager for GameStop.
I was how old are you? You're younger. I know it doesn't seem like it, but you are a little bit younger than me. I was a Babbage's guy before they became.
Yes.
Thank you.
Babbage's.
I was a GameStop. I was GameStop before GameStop was GameStop. That's OG shit right there.
Wow, that is OG. And I worked for GameStop before the EB Games purchase, so it was just GameStop at the time.
Are we really? Is that where we are with this podcast? What are we doing here?
Yes, yeah. I'm old. I feel old as fuck. Jesus. I say it all the time, but I'm young at heart.
Listen, I was there. I was Pokemon First Edition. I was there. Boots on the ground. I was there. I dealt with your kids. I had to ration them off. I also might have sold some of them on the side.
It was bad.
We had $3 a pack. I mean, I'll buy all these right here and I'll sell them for $6 a pack. I was broke. I was a kid. It was a simpler time.
It's crazy now. Dude. I actually do. I do reselling of Pokemon stuff.
Pokemon scalper, you jerk.
Well, I'm not a scalper. I'm actually what I like to call a degenerate gambler. So but I'm also smart about it. So I have an LLC. That's my base LLC, and then I made a whole bunch of DBAs around my LLC, and one of them, the podcast, which is fun. The other is a collectibles business. So what I do is I like gambling. So I'll open a shitload of Pokemon and then sell it. Just because I'm trying to get the chase card and I want that feeling, and then I move on. But Pokemon's nothing like it was when we were younger.
Like everything else, they ruined it for the next generation. But that's awesome. Like it's so it's
fun.
You gotta catch them all.
It is fun. I mean, and it's but it's a tough market, dude. It is. The margins are very small.
The Pokemon market, you're talking about it.
And the Pokemon market. However, I will say this. I think they was it the Wall Street Journal that did a report about it. It's like since 2000 or something, the Dow has gone up a certain amount. It's it hasn't gone down, but Pokemon has gone up like 53,000%, and it's outpaced like every investment. So had you like thought about it and invested, you'd have a shit ton of fucking money. But it does go up, dude. It's crazy what some of these products, like once you have it, what it goes up to. It's a gambler's dream. We'll say that. And I love to do me and the wifey love. She's my good luck charm. So, I get her to open, and she's normally the one that gets the high end card that I can actually sell for some.
I may have stumbled upon a OG like Charizard back in the day. Now,
dude,
oh my god,
it's in good shape, bro.
I feel like having like a Honus Wagner like baseball card. It's like that level of like insanity. You reminded me as a degenerate gambler that I forgot to put in my picks for tonight. So, well, thank God your podcast pays
for what?
Great. I don't know. I'm a FanDuel guy, but I'm more a hockey fan than anything else as far as like watching. But it's mostly just at this point, like everything else, like there's game scripts now that are all like AI and like you have an 86% chance of everything is all gamed out. So like it's a whole it's going to be a podcast at some point for me, like where we talk about how like professional sports for years shunned any sort of like gambling and whatever like that. Like a guy like Pete Rose was not allowed to be the Hall of Famer that he was supposed to be. And here we are later,
Yep.
where it's like DraftKings Sportsbook presents the Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm like, well, fuck it. Like, remember when you wouldn't even let the guy in because he bet that he was going to win? That guy, that's the guy. He's like,
And there's been some people, man, that have gotten fucking wrecked from gambling. Basketball recently, right? What was it? The head coach, was it the head coach of the Pistons?
Did he gamble
was it
or did he
Chauncey Billups?
No,
that got arrested.
Chauncey did. There's one guy that was like he took like a fake contract or whatever like that to like be like a shoe guy that wasn't like an actual shoe, and he got in trouble for that.
Well, Billups did some crazy shit. So Billups it was a joint investigation. He didn't gamble on sports. What he did, which was fucking wild, is he worked with the Mafia, and they would have him be like one of the celebrity guests, and he would also find people to come in, and the Mafia had the game set up. So it'd be these private rooms, but like all the cards were marked. Yeah, Texas Hold'em, I think, and all the cards were marked, so they knew all the cards, and they would just clean up. They would win, obviously, because they knew what was going on, and they fixed all these games. And I guess, the FBI got involved,
It's
and
so
he was
hard
part
to
of that.
do.
I don't know what's happened
So
since, but
I was broke when I was a kid, and poker is actually one of the things that got me through college. Like that was the mid-aughts. Like so, like it was right when. If you're like a poker fan, it was the original like Chris Moneymaker World Series of Poker on ESPN. Like, so was that and Poker Stars and Full Tilt Poker. And that was all kind of where I was as a young man. And I started out with, playing $5 tournaments like online, and then built myself up to where I was doing okay. I actually got to play in the 2006 World Series of Poker. I think, yeah.
holy shit.
And I still play poker every once in a while, but now it kind of almost feels like work. It's one of those things where like I used to do that when it was that, but I love poker. And poker, one of the hardest things I deal with, Rob, is it's trying to explain to people that don't play poker or don't gamble that poker is not gambling. So on a surface, like you're gonna have listeners that go, "What the fuck you mean poker's not gambling?" Poker's not gambling. Blackjack is gambling. Blackjack, like if you're at a casino, like the casino has these odds are built into your slot machines and your pie gow and your 3-card poker and your blackjack. Poker, actual like playing Texas Hold'em poker in a poker room. I'm not playing against the casino. I'm playing against this asshole that is had one more Jäger bomb than I had, and I could beat that guy. Like I've got the edge. Now it's the one place that you can have the actual edge. And listen, you're gonna lose at poker, but I'm gonna get my aces in over your kings, and I'm gonna win 80% of the time, and I'm gonna know that. And that's how poker becomes, as big as it is. And now it's ruined because you have all these math nerds and algorithms and whatever, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've played in the poker room. So we have a Parks Casino.
I played
here.
there.
It's like
Parks 360.
Yeah. Their poker room is. Yeah, their poker room is.
I like the stage
awesome.
there. I like
Love
the way. So Parks, not to cut you off, but Parks has the place that I performed at your casino, which is also kind of fucking weird, but because we had no idea, by the way. But I'm like, oh my god, Parks, yeah. So so they have a bar at Parks, but then behind the bar, like there's a stage kind of like up on top of the bar. So the bar is kind of like in a pit, and then the band kind of sets up like behind there, like kind of like out of the way and stuff like that. And it's it's fine, but it's a really nice room. Like
yeah, we've been there. We're friends with I don't know if you know any cover bands, but there's a band called Split Decision. They're big around here.
Are they?
They played.
Are
I mean,
they?
they're a cover band, though. You know, there's
Who in Split D do you
so,
know? I'm sorry, I say Split D because I might have given myself away there.
Well, wait, Tosh, you know Mikey D, right?
Yeah.
So the wifey knows Mikey from way back in the day. JT actually worked for me at one point. But he wanted the job at the time because he wasn't. I think it was when he was in. It's when he left.
Oh my God,
Please
Jesus,
Me.
you're going way back. Not to the Please
Oh yeah,
Me days.
we know. I've known JT for. Yeah, I've known JT for like it's probably what 15, 20 years. But he's
why I
good
love
people
doing these kind of
and
things, So
and we know Tom.
Yeah,
oh, it's
Tom.
not Tom. Was it?
TK.
Yeah, we know Thomas. TK. Yeah, we know all those guys. How do you know them?
Yeah. JT and I've known those guys. Yeah. Yes. My first. Oh my God, JT was in the Rockets. I think when him and TK played in Please Me. TK.
Him and Derek were on the rock.
Derek,
with
Derek
the
didn't.
Rockets.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
they had a
I agree with
manager
you
that
there.
did the Rockets. The Rockets is an amazing production of like the Rockets taught me so much about the presentation of music, where it's like they would have their show and like they'd basically like hit a button, they'd press play, and then the show would just be the show. And it's the first time I ever really saw that. Yeah, and Derek was in the band at that point. JT was in the band. So that was
Yep.
Oh my God, dude, you're killing me. TK played bass for me in Ocean City for a couple summers. JT and I
Nice.
had what I still to this day. First of all, if you look at my Facebook or whatever, there's a picture of JT and I like back to back wearing the exact same shirt that we didn't plan that we were gonna show up at Jimmy's Grill in Dewey Beach wearing the same shirt, but we happened to wear the same shirt. And we also had the
That's
summer of
fucking
JT
great.
where he was single for a minute. Back in the
Oh, yeah.
day before he got I guess married, and we sent him a gift. That's okay. And shout out to LD if you're still around anywhere, Lauren.
Well, I think that
Oh,
is.
no, it's done. No, it's definitely done.
That, yeah, that's Dunzo.
I haven't talked to Jay in a while, but like his new chick seems nice. But I've been kind of like as I pour myself another Dewey Beach drink. By the way, what are you drinking? By the way, the whole podcast is supposed to be about drinking. I have not seen you, and God bless you, by the way, for being on a microphone and not having to hydrate at all during your show. Maybe I'm bad at this.
Yeah, it's just simple Tito's, man. Tito's and water and a little bit of Mio to flavor because I'm not a fucking sociopath.
I just want to
you know?
give you Tito's and vodka. Fucking.
I'm a Captain Morgan. Like I like Captain and Coke. It's my go-to.
I was an
if
OG
I'm,
Captain
out and
and
about, but
Sprites, or Captain and Ginger is what I would be. It tastes like a cream soda, and that was one of those weird college things, like where it's like, you feel semi-fancy because you're not drinking Vladdy or whatever we were drinking. Thank you. It's the right reaction.
Horror
It's
stories.
the right reaction.
Just like drinking nail
We've all
polish
been there.
remover. Oh,
There's no judging. Hey, thank you for having this kind of podcast where we can all be in the trust tree together, Rob. I thank you for having us.
yeah. There's people out there right now that's probably listening to that. They will listen to this, and they're currently drinking Vladimir, and I applaud them. We've been there. We've all been there. It's probably why I have as much gray hair as I do.
I do better. Stay in school. God, stop it. You do so much more.
You don't want that bottom shelf shit, man. Admiral Kelly rum.
That is
and
Admiral
whatever the
Nelson.
other
You put
bullshit
some
is
respect on his name. He's a goddamn admiral.
Oh, our fake admirals. That's wild that you know that, man.
I don't
That's
just
actually,
know them. I gotta
it's funny.
say,
it's a small world.
like TKJ, Mikey, obviously, Ray, and then they've all been just. First of all, you're absolutely right. They are, and here's the thing, and I don't ever want to say nice things about Philly, just as a rule. Philly and that area, like that shore, is literally the best cover band or like that sort of scene anywhere in the entire world. And I've played everywhere. Like literally, I play in Key West and Las Vegas and whatever. Philly to Dewey Beach to Seattle, is that corridor. You will find the best presentation of live music, of stuff that people actually like to listen to anywhere in the world. And it's mostly because of guys like JT. JT is like if I get to do this over again, well, I have better hair than he does, but he's got better tattoos, and it's it's either or. But for my money, getting to see guys like JT be a frontman, getting to see like Laura Lee and Trip Fabulous, like if so you're Philly, but like I would play a lot in like Wilmington, like Delaware, which is right over the whatever. So the Wilmo scene also was like that. That was where you had we would do Docklands or whatever it used to be called, or Firestone. I think back in the day, like I forget what the names of places were, but like I still love going out there. I would drive 4 hours across Pennsylvania to go out there to play shows because it was such a better scene than what I had in Western Pennsylvania. And it's just it's a good vibe. It's one of the only nice things I could ever say about Philly. Like we don't talk sports because you guys are garbage when it comes to sports, but when it comes to like being supportive about like your live entertainment scene, one of the best places I've ever been, and guys like JT and Split D. First of all, they've been around. They're an institution at this point. They're approaching Mr. Green Jeans status. If you want to go, thank you. I was going to say I'm gonna drop a little. I'm gonna drop a little. I'm gonna drop a little Brian O'Boyle.
Very long time.
Brian and I played a show in Pittsburgh in 2013. This is don't Jesus me. This is literally I can't believe I'm remembering this now, and I blame the Jäger for this. First of all, side note, before we started talking about this, you said like I have a couple questions where I'm like, yeah, but if I get to these questions, this is bad. I don't think you've asked a single fucking question.
I have not asked a single question. Which is always good.
So if you are a Philly guy and you remember a band called Mr. Green Jeans, who was a literal institution, not just in Philly, but in Ocean City, like a young Spiffy Sean Styles used to go to a place called the Paddock in Ocean City every Monday night to see Mr. Green Jeans play there. And then my band got a chance to play there years later. And one of the reasons that I wanted to play there was because of that, like sort of like respect to the people that paved the way kind of like vibe. And Brian O'Boyle and Mr. Green Jeans, as much as you might talk shit about the Rockets have been around forever. They've had a very changing lineup, but like but the essence of what that band is it works. You know what I mean? Like that's the prototypical, like, we're going to play what these people are going to pay us money to play. And it doesn't matter if, there's a different bass player or a different guitar player, or, Simon's not playing drums anymore in the Rockets or whatever it is, like it's still the presentation of what's going on. And so you learn from that, like getting to see guys like that do that. But then on the flip side, you have a band like Mr. Green Jeans that was the same lineup for like 20 years. Like that doesn't happen in music. It just doesn't.
Never happens.
No,
especially
you have Green Jeans world. And you have Love Seed Mama Jump, just to go. I want to make this podcast as local and just like you have 7 people that right now they're like, oh my God, fucking he said Love Seed Mama Jump. And everybody else is like, what the fuck is he talking about? I want that. That's what I want for this. Sorry.
100% gonna happen, I'm sure.
It's a very on the nose kind of thing, but there's something to be said for all of that. So like I have this conversation all the time because my show is very interactive compared to a lot of uh I hate to call them like track bands, but like a lot of bands have a very set presentation of what they do. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, Pearl Jam goes out. Well,
Yeah.
not Pearl Jam's not a great example, but like bands go out there and play a very similar set list every show. You get a guy like me that is the adult poster child for ADHD, and kind of as I alluded to, like you have this is the set list. These are the things that we're going to talk about. These are the things we're going to play. You get 3 songs into that and you go, no, fuck it. We're going to do something totally different. And then having that like as an option is great. And that comes, just to give Rob something to talk about, that comes from me being a professional wrestler and having that background and trying to utilize that in music, because most musicians don't have, like, I've been in my underwear in front of 10,000 people and now I have to change this up on the fly. What are we going to do? And so that was always kind of my strength as a performer. I believe it still is. And some people like it, some people don't, but that's art as a rule is very subjective. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're not everybody's supposed to like you.
There's something fun. And there was something fun, like especially you mentioned like the Rockets and some of those other bands. The cool thing about, and same thing like Split now with JT, you never know what they're gonna play. Like they might go classic on you. You might get closing time at the end of the night, right? You might get some Metallica randomly thrown in. You might get a Lady Gaga song. Like I think that some of it's just like based, obviously, I feel like on where they are and the mood of the crowd and who's there. But like I feel like you never really know what they're gonna play, and I always like that. It wasn't like you go and you're like, oh, I know they're gonna play.
But
these 5
but you
songs
also
100%
know
every
a
time,
band that you've seen where before, like I've listened, and JT will probably say the same thing. Like we've played places where the band sets up and the band plays the first set, and you get like the bartenders and the staff that go, "Oh my god, we're so happy you guys are here. The band that played last week is a great band, but we know their set list before they play." You know what I mean? Because they play, because and again, nothing wrong with that. It's their set list and they're crushing it. And that's kind of the thing that actually weirdly JT's old manager taught me. Where it's like it's not what you want to play, it's what they want you to play. So then it's like you might think it's going to be Leonard Skinner in Sweet Home Alabama and whatever like that, but it turns out to be Lady Gaga because and that's a Key West thing more than anything, Rob, where it's like like my band plays at a place called Sloppy Joe's in Key West. It was one of the first places that was nice enough to let us come down there and play. And Sloppy Joe's is an institution. It's one of the best party bars anywhere in the country. Now the first time I went to play Sloppy Joe's in Key West, I had no idea what to expect, but I assumed that they would want us to play like, kind of like yacht rock, island rock, like Jimmy Buffett songs. So we played Margaritaville in our first set. And again, this is like 15 years ago at this point. But the first time we played in Key West, we played Margaritaville. The sound guy, who was also like the manager or whatever like that, after that set, pulled me off stage. And I say pulled me because he grabbed me and pulled me off stage and told me in very not uncertain terms to never ever play that ever again, ever, or he would throw me out of the condo and you'll never work in this town again. And it's because you have that kind of perception. And what we learned from there was like we would play a set where we'd be out there playing for there's a cruise ship in the harbor and a bunch of middle-aged people or older people were there, and we can look out and see oh, we're gonna play, the Beatles, we're gonna play Neil Diamond, we're gonna play 70s and 80s, whatever like that. And we would take a break and come back, and it's 25-year-olds at a bachelorette party when we get back. Well, now we're gonna play Taylor Swift, and we're gonna play Lady Gaga, and bands like Split Decision and JT,
Yeah.
and those guys are just masters of that. And like having that flexibility, I think, as somebody who, again, 3 songs into a show is like, never mind, we're gonna play Wonderwall now. What? I know, because they gave us $100. We're gonna do, but having
Yeah.
that is in itself kind of like its own presentation. God, I wish.
And it's fun. It's fun, man. Like I'll never forget. I went up to JT. I feel like it was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
I was like 23 or 24, I don't know, something like that. And I was young. And I walked up and we said, I'm like, look, dude, I really hope that you guys can do this. Can you please, for me and my boy, play Savior from what album was that? It's Rise
Jesus
Against, but I don't
Christ.
remember the album. But is it the Swingway album? I think it's the Swingway album. I forget what the name of the album is, but I'm like, and he's like, we got you. And they played it twice total in like a month or two, because I made them do it drunkenly again at some point, and that was like the highlight, because I fucking love that song, dude. It's a top 10 song for me, and but they did it on the fly. You know what I mean? Like, and shit like that I think is fun.
It's so you're, God damn it, Rob, you're gonna get me like on an actual like happy tangent, because I was talking about this on TV actually a while ago, where so they were talking about kind of like my experience as a professional wrestler and being on TV and doing that kind of stuff, and then how that translated to music and just that presentation, and how I explain it to people now, especially in 2026. And this green screen, where you're just trying to create moments. You're trying to create like that 1 minute where like the music hits and the people lose their mind, and that's the thing. And that's what, like, your goal as an entertainer is to find those moments. Like, my band plays a lot of weddings, and the moment at that wedding is, yeah, like, we didn't think these guys would know that song, and here it is. It's my brother's favorite song. People are losing their mind. Or for my kind of wedding, like, my brother is going to come up and play guitar on this song and be on stage with the band at the wedding. That's something that they're going to talk about 5 years from now. You know what I mean? Oh, Johnny, remember when you jumped out there and played, whatever? That, like, those are the things. It's like, it's not because we nailed Summer of '69. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we did, but like,
yeah, you're creating moments for people that they're never, like, literally that happened
still talk about it.
15 years ago, and I still remember it. I don't
Nope.
remember what the fuck I did last week, but I remember that, and I think that is something that's important. And
you
I don't
didn't.
know
You
if
just
we got
talked
away
about
from
like you were
that,
23,
to a certain degree,
which had to be what, 104 years ago for you, Rob. You look great, by the way.
I had a lot darker hair then, and more of it, actually.
But that's the kind of the point. And again, not to keep putting over fucking JT, but like guys like that taught me that, and I'm so grateful that I had a chance to just learn, like in a place like Dewey Beach or Rehoboth Beach or like Ocean City. Like there. It's like, if you don't know the area, people listening to this for whatever godforsaken reason you are, if you're still listening to this, if for God's sake,
If you're
you
still
haven't
here
already
with
left
us.
like a two, like, that guy just seemed really upset. His hair's stupid, and fuck this guy.
They keep talking about Dewey Beach.
Like, not just Dewey Beach, like in the abstract of Dewey Beach, like what you have, like in any place, anywhere USA, you have like a 45-minute strip. Say you have anywhere like of just beach towns or like resort towns where you have, Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, Fenwick, Ocean City, and you can go literally right. It's called Highway 1. You can go up and down a road where for 45 minutes you could find you could chuck a rock and find a place that has really good live music. And there's not a lot of places, especially now coming out of COVID, a lot of those places went away. So like you want to make sure you're doing the best you can to kind of like acknowledge that and support that and just it's fun, dude. Live music, you know, I understand you know, this is the like we've had this conversation drunk at my house in Dewey Beach back in the day. JT was there a lot. This is post-show bottle of JMO. Let's talk about the State of the Union here with like me and the guys from Split D and the guys from Lost in Paris and the guy, you know what I mean? Like, so all the cover bands are all like, it's one of the reasons I love Dewey Beach is there was always like this kind of like conglomeration of like, oh, who's in town this week? Oh, Split D's here at the Bottle and Cork on Friday. Oh, hey, you know, so you know, like you never get a chance to really kind of like hang out, like because your peers are 2 hours away playing at a dock bar in, you know, Graysonville, like at the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, or they're playing up in Sea and there's no ferry anymore at 9 o'clock at night, so you can't go see them. But like you have places, and wrestling was like this too, Rob, where like you cross paths with these people. And I haven't talked to JT in a minute, literally since his wedding. Yeah. Hey, there's no judging. Listen,
No,
I was
not at
there
all.
for what I affectionately refer to as the summer of JT, which was the one summer that he was single, like single in that environment. And we got after it, as the kids say.
Say, I'm
Well,
sure he
did.
cleaned
I
up.
was-
I'm sure he cleaned up pretty well.
Every good-looking guy needs like a fat, awkward friend to like, you know, like be like, "Yeah, he's just really cool. Like you should. I can be that.
Just have a drink
Listen,
with
I'll
this
buy
guy.
the drinks. I'll be the fat, awkward friend that is just like, you don't even see me there. I'm not even like, what? Another round of green teas? I guess. Well, how do we get here?
Buttery
I don't-
nipples?
I
I'm
don't like to
in.
brag, but, I mean, they're not that buttery. I mean, buttery nipples? Who drinks buttery
Well,
nipples?
let me ask you this: where did Spiffy come from? Is there
There
a story behind that?
So, before I was a pretend rock star, I was a pretend professional wrestler. So, I love professional wrestling. It was something that, oh gosh, this is half a bottle of Jäger in. This is so wrestling for me. Like I was a very late bloomer, and I was always just an awkward kid. And again, the adult poster child for I was ADHD before they knew what that was. Well, I'm just
What that
old enough
was.
where like the nuns would beat the shit out of me in school, like shut the fuck up, and like they were still allowed to hit you.
Yeah.
Look it up, kids. Yeah, you can still
Knuckles on the desk.
Dude, I'm left-handed. They would hit me because I would write left-handed, and Jesus didn't like that apparently. So I would literally get hit because I'm a lefty. So the Spiffy thing comes from professional wrestling. Professional wrestling comes from me being like I'm a 90s kid. I say this all the time. Like, so on stage, like you mentioned closing time. So and I will get on the tangent here. One of the things I love about music is again kind of like that. It's very subjective. One of my stage hacks is like I'm a 90s kid, number one. Number two, I am a connoisseur of 90s one-hit wonders. So there were a couple times a few years ago when I was still playing out in Ocean City and Dewey Beach where I was able to kind of have a presentation of like this entire show is just going to be, it's 90s, but it's also 90s one-hit wonders. And it's an entire show of closing times.
That's awesome.
And Breakfast at Tiffany's
So
and
good.
500 Miles and Meredith Brooks' Bitch and like so all of these like Natalie Imbruglia, Torn, all these like songs that you've, and then if you're like of a certain age, you haven't heard some of these songs in like 10 or 15 years, but when they play, you go, oh my God, I can't believe this. Oh my shit. I haven't fucking, so that.
And you know every fucking
They
word
do.
to that song.
Anybody
Every single
anybody
one.
that's from like 30 to 40 all knows that entire catalog of that shit, but nobody's ever heard it before.
They were on like now
That's what I'm
7.
17. It's like,
like-
yeah. It's that, and like, so the first song I ever played on the guitar, upside down and backwards, by the way, was Hooting the Blowfish stuff. Like I was that, like, I was a kid, but that was, but
yeah.
I know.
Fucking
But going
Hootie
back
the
to professional
Blowfish.
wrestling, it's like you have that, that sort of presentation of I forgot where we were. What was the question? Jäger. Oh, yeah,
Spiffy.
that's where the wrestling came
Spiffy.
from. So I was a wrestling fan growing up. And so if you remember, like wrestling at a couple times through our lives have been sort of mainstream, sort of pop culture. So you had like the mid 80s, like Hulk
Yep.
Hogan and Rock and Wrestling and Hulkamania and all that stuff when we were like not around. But you also had the late 90s
Yeah.
where you had like The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and that era of, yeah.
Kane, Undertaker. Yeah, that's when I was into it.
That's when
I was
everybody
a
was
couple
into it.
years
That's
there.
what
I
I'm
was
saying. So
really into it.
It was a mainstream kind of pop culture thing where everybody was into wrestling at like 98, 99. So that's when I started wrestling. So I moved back to Pittsburgh. And so they had the WWF at the time had a program called Shotgun Saturday Night that was on Saturday nights, weirdly. But after that was ECW. So if you're a wrestling fan, you know where I'm at.
I remember
right?
ECW. Oh yeah.
After that, in Pittsburgh, there was a local independent wrestling group that also had a television show. So I had just moved back to Pittsburgh. I'm living in my grandma's house and watching this at 1 a.m. on a Saturday. And I see that they're in, McKeesport, Pennsylvania, which is 15 minutes from where I live. And they have a show coming up like next week. Come to the, the WrestlePlex and we're going to have a thing. So I show up and, very old school wrestler. Like, I'm like, hi, I'm 18 or 19 or whatever I was. And I'm like, so they let me like sweep the floors. And then, I'm going to school for broadcasting. So they have a TV show. So now they let me stand backstage and like interview the wrestlers. Great. I'm good at that, and then, hey, you want to do commentary for the TV show? I would love to. That's sort of kind of what I want to do. What I thought at that point, if I ever grow up, I want to do this. At some point, they realize that I'm also 6'1" and 230 pounds. And they go, would you like to be a tackling dummy and learn how to wrestle? And I go, I would love that as well. And I was a tackling dummy. As some of the best wrestlers around Pittsburgh got to beat me up a little bit, but we used to call that paying your dues. Where were we again, Rob? You gotta, thank you, Rob.
Spiffy.
So, listen, what's the show called?
I got you.
What's the show
right
called,
here,
guy?
right here. It's drink
Okay,
o'clock,
well,
baby. It's drink.
Listen, we're an
Drink
hour
clock
in at
somewhere.
this point, so don't hate me.
I don't allow myself to refill because I would get
Well,
sloppy.
I wish you'd have told me that before I was on
bring
my
it back.
third Jäger bomb in the hour that we've been together. This is why you get bad reviews, Rob. Just so you know, you should probably tell your guests not to keep pouring big Jäger.
Oh, he's not even measuring there, baby. That's a healthy pour. I like it.
All right. So in real life, like as a performer, like whatever, I would have this actual conversation with bars. Listen, we've all been there. So what I tell and most bartenders would know this because they know me, is as the show goes on, the Jäger bombs become way more bomb, way less Jäger. If that makes Tip your bartenders
100%.
because they make it so I don't fall off the stage often.
I actually stopped drinking energy drinks. I've talked about this on the show a couple times, but I haven't had an energy drink in well over 3 years because I decided
How do
I
you
wanted
do
to
that?
be healthier.
So I don't have any vice. I don't have any vices. I don't smoke. Besides drinking the Jäger bombs, I don't really have any, like bad habits. But I get caffeine headaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I still drink. I'll drink every weekend I get to kind of indulge and I'll have a couple Diet Pepsis or something. So I'm still
What are you,
getting
fucking
caffeine.
Mormon? What are you
But
doing?
dude, I was
I'm gonna
drinking.
get a little crazy. I'm gonna get a Diet Coke with a little bit of.
Well, I was drinking 2 energy drinks a day for like 20 years. So I said to myself, all right, I'm over 35. I should probably think about being healthier. So when I'm one of the exactly, but I'm one of those people. If I'm gonna stop,
what?
That is the last thing I want. I'm actually definitely do not want to get a prostate exam anytime soon, but I'm sure once you hit that 40 mark, you should. But I decided, like, hey, I'm going to be healthier. Boom, I'm done. Once I make that decision, I stop. And I actually had issues seeing for like it took like 3 days, I think, for it to get out of my system. So then I thought
Right.
literally I wear contacts. Everything was blurry, and I couldn't read shit that was right in front of me. So instantly I said to the wifey, I'm like, I'm dying. I have diabetes. There's something going on. So I rushed to my eye doctor. The eye doctor tells me, you're totally fine. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. I checked
Stop going
everything.
on WebMD
Did you make
when
any
you're
dietary
fucking,
changes?
Stop it. You're fine.
I thought I was going blind. And he's like, dude, he's like, your eyes have been so coked up for fucking 20 years on energy drinks. You stopped. And now you're so my vision got 4 clicks worse in each eye, and then after 3 months they normalized to 2 clicks worse. So I actually had to get a whole new fucking prescription for my contacts, and I still need to get it for my glasses because I haven't changed it. But so I haven't had any since. And look, I love energy drinks. It was a running joke for everybody because I was the energy drink guy. I can't do coffee.
I wish I was making this up, dude. I literally. And this I hate even like this kind of shit saying out loud sounds so fucking douchey. So Amazon just hired me to be an influencer for Amazon, and what they wanted me to do is like review the fucking things. And I literally like I got sitting over here, I didn't clean up from this morning, where I'm like, hi everybody, like this is my go-to energy drink. I don't drink coffee, I don't like whatever like that, but like if I gotta wake up in the morning, it's gonna be this Rockstar fruit punch. Here's my link, buy it from me. And then Amazon gives me money for it. It's so I feel dirty, but also I like money, Rob. It's kind of a
Hey, you gotta pay the bills, man. You gotta pay
nice
the bills.
cars, you know what I mean? But no. Oh God!
So back to
Look
Spiffy.
at you with your focus, you jerk.
I got to get one question.
Did you
done,
write this down?
And then I'll feel okay
listen,
about myself.
If you listen to your listeners, if you're not watching this the video, if Rob puts up this question like he's got on some sort of index card in front of his green screen, everybody gets a free sundae from Dairy Queen or whatever you guys have it. Everybody goes to Wawa. You can get a 6-inch. You can get a shorty from Wawa down there. You get yourself
you shorty with some extra cheese.
Go get yourself a bucket of meatballs and go home, you jerk.
Get a fucking cheesesteak and shut up.
First of all, there's a whole cheesesteak versus steak and cheese thing that I don't want to get into because that's a podcast in itself.
So that's a whole other podcast.
Wawa is not even the best convenience store out there. If you want to actually so me trying to explain, and Rob will probably back me up on this, me trying to explain that the best chicken I've ever had in my life is from a place called Royal Farms, which is it's a gas station that has the best literal chicken And he goes, yeah.
I'm familiar. I'm familiar. It's those little places blow you the fuck away.
How do you
man.
explain it to people that aren't like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, oh my God, I'm hungry. Like, let's go to this gas station. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, I mean, I promise it's going to be really good.
Those are the type of places you got to dedicate. Dude, there's a place by my work. We would get, when they order from there, sometimes I'll get chicken fingers, and the chicken fingers are okay. But the honey mustard that they have, and I'm not a big honey mustard guy. Like, it's not like I dislike honey mustard. I'll eat it. It is handmade, and it is the best honey. I would bathe. My fat ass, I would fucking bathe in that honey mustard.
Listen,
and it just makes it all better.
A lot. We're like, all of a sudden, I'm like, if we can do this, we can monetize this where it's just like two fat guys talking about like the best, like homemade, it's the best homemade ranch I've ever had in my life. We got
to. And I'm dripping the ranch in my mouth as you're talking. Oh yeah, I could sign me up. If you make custom any food, you hit me up.
Listen,
I'd be
back
happy
to my
fucking
like
do
business
it
stuff. Like, so the reason I've got to travel so much is I've done such a good job of like sort of doing that. Like, where like I get to go sing songs in Key West and have a place there, or I learned all this from literally from Ocean City and Dewey Beach, but same principle. Find a way to get paid for the thing you love to do. I would love some chicken fingers, and you know, it's really cold in Pennsylvania right now, guys. So Spiffy comes
cold.
from wrestling. So I was again, I kind of alluded to this earlier. Like, I was a young man, fresh out of high school, but a huge wrestling fan. So when I started wrestling, or started being involved in wrestling, you know, it's one of the last areas where you sort of work your way up. Like, and that's an old school wrestling thing, by the way, because it's not like that anymore. Now in professional wrestling, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, I'm in NIL, you know, athlete, and they're like, cool, let's teach you how to wrestle. It's that in itself, for real, Rob, is a podcast where it's like the dichotomy of like paying your bills, like paying, you know, like I remember when they didn't know how to even get trained to be wrestling, you know, which I did. But then also now it's like, oh, hey, you know, they're plucking these like gymnasts and like, you know, whatever out of college and saying, hey, I'll give you $1 million to come to the performance center down here in Orlando, and we'll teach you how to do the flippy stuff. But also, you know, again, it's become a lot more of the presentation of like, hey, you're pretty, you know, come be on TV. Which, oh gosh, I hope no actual wrestling people are listening. That's not true. I hope everybody listens to this. But also, what are you gonna do? Hate me more than you already do? You know,
We gonna choke slam him? You
they
know,
might.
like he might be into it though. I don't know. So Spiffy, let's end on that. We got to at least know where Spiffy came from.
Rob. Nobody.
You live. We could talk about how you broke your neck
Wrestling,
instead. I mean, it's
think.
up to you. Jäger wrestling. I don't know. Combination of both.
And thank you so much for having me. I feel like I over understood the assignment where it's like drinking with whatever. Like, all right, we're gonna go. You know, I don't know, man. Like, listen,
I'm having fun. I don't give a fuck if anyone listens.
Well,
it's like it's an excuse to have fun.
I hope somebody's listening.
New people,
SpiffySeanStyles.com, or you can find me on Facebook or MySpace, or if you see me on Tinder, please swipe right. No, the weird thing is, like, literally before I got on here, like, you heard me yelling at Facebook about like, I'm a person of interest, you know, like kind of thing, and they're like, meh.
Yeah, well, they also didn't really get the whole English thing either, so I think it was a little bit
We
there
don't do
too.
politics, Rob. So Spiffy comes from a wrestling standpoint. Like, so I was talking about uh wanting, like, so wrestling for me is the thing. So I didn't know this about myself back then, but being kind of the poster child for like ADHD or ADHD or ADQ. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a lot
But
of
like,
letters.
uh, a guy who has kind of the level of like social awkwardness that I have normally, and also the lack of focus that I have normally, but also, I'm a fucking genius. So like trying to like navigate that superpower amongst those things in an era where the nuns would just hit you and tell you to shut up, because you're, uh, so that was it was a weird thing for me to, like, we all kind of knew, who I was. Um, but wrestling was always, and is still to this day, always kind of that escape. It becomes that escape for people that even fans that watch wrestling. So it's a place where, like, people are like, oh, wrestling's not, it's not real, it's scripted, whatever like that. Like, have you ever fucking watched a movie in your life? Like, have you never sat down in a movie theater and watched you've never seen Star Wars? Do you think there's a real Death Star? All right, well, then I guess the Undertaker's dead. All right, well, maybe he's dead. Well, all right.
Joke's on you.
If you're gonna just dive in, man. If you're gonna believe it, fucking believe it. But like, but having that sort of like growing up and seeing these kind of like larger than life people, and I'm a '90s kid, but I grew up seeing Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, and I was lucky enough as I became well, not that I'm a man now, but as I became what most people would describe as a grown up. Listen, man, I'm in my 40s and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And if you don't get any clips out of this entire podcast with my drunken ramblings, you don't have to figure it out. You don't, like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I've had an awesome life and shit is amazing. Like, there's nothing wrong. If you're 12 years old and you want to be a lawyer, if you're 10 years old and you want to be a teacher, God bless you. And we thank you, and I need you, and you guys are awesome. But like, I might wake up tomorrow and want to be an astronaut. And also, that's okay.
I'm in the same boat as you, brother. I don't fucking know what I want to do either, but here we are. But look, we're at that time now. So
Spiffy
what I need from
was-
you,
Long story short, Spiffy was me being a young man in the wrestling business and being on television, and we had an anniversary show where we were on television. Me being the people pleaser that I am, obviously, and kind of like whatever, wanted to. So I literally went to, I think it's like a I was like a Men's Warehouse, and I was like, hey, I'm like a 19-year-old kid, by the way. I'm like, hey, I'm a big TV star, and I would love for you to have the opportunity to dress me for this big anniversary show that's syndicated on TV. Basically, I got a free tuxedo from Men's Warehouse. So went to the taping, the television taping, showed up in a tuxedo, which is the sort of extra thing that I would still do to this day. I can't even talk shit. Like, I would still do that. And in the old school wrestling era, Rob, when an old like kind of veteran, like an established like respected wrestler would kind of give you a nickname, it was kind of like it would stick, and that's kind of like what it was. So
Yeah.
uh, one of the guys that was it still is my friend and my mentor was a guy named Samu. So if you watch wrestling, you know the Samoan bloodline, and so if just going back a little bit, it was Samu and Fatu were that was the head shrinkers. So Rikishi is Fatu, and his son now Jacob is there, and my cousins Jay and Jimmy, like so that was all that big family, and a lot of those are they're based out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. So if not to go, I was gonna say not to
I
go
was just
east,
in Allentown.
East Pennsylvania, but like Allentown has the Wild Samoan training academy, and if you want to wrestle, you should go there. But again, the long story short, now that we've been rambling on for an hour and a half, is when an old timer says, "Hey, don't you look spiffy?" Because you're in a locker room in a tuxedo when most of the people there are in their underwear. You know, I stand out a little bit. It's before the hair, but like, so you kind of as a sign of respect, kind of hold on to that, and so that has been, and I'm not exaggerating, 25 years of the wrestling industry, and then that carrying over to the entertainment and music industry, and even as I become a personality with this stuff, now that we're doing this stuff, it's it's identifiable if nothing else, Rob. So like if you Google Spiffy Sean Styles, or if you go to the website spiffyseanstyles.com, like if you see me and Spandex, first of all, I'm sorry. Uh Second of all, thank you for looking. Third of all, please find my OnlyFans. I have good feet. COVID was hard on everybody, so I don't want you to judge me, and I would never judge you.
See, that's a clip right there, Sean. I think I might just clip that alone. That'll be the episode trailer. Well, look, man, this was a pleasure. I actually was gonna stop you before you told me where Spiffy came from because I thought it'd be even funnier if we just never finished it. But I think that's funny,
like,
and
like a podcast
that's
cliffhanger. That'd be great. There was that one show where it's like, oh, the whatever, the murder show, whatever. Like, it was like a big deal. Like we could do.
Yeah.
Tune in next week and find out where Spiffy Sean's.
And we never ever talk, like, it never finishes ever. And then someone in the comments is going to be like, "Hey, you never talked about Spiffy. What happened?" And then it just continues. But yeah, plug away, dude. Tell us where can we find all your stuff? Is it just your website? Do you have everything else? Going on?
Yeah, spiffyseanstyles.com for if you want to see some of the drunken ramblings that I've had after shows like this. And by the way, thank you so much for a very different vibe for, I guess we call this podcasts.
I'd say drinking on a Thursday night,
It's
but
your
yeah, you could call it
podcast.
podcasting.
What do you call
podcasting? I mean, it's kind of it goes hand in hand together. It's a beautiful thing. People tend to talk, their lips loosen with a little bit of booze.
It's a accurate analogy. Typically, it's one of the things where, like, and again, this in itself is an episode where it's like the younger folks, the people under 40, are not drinking as much as they used to drink, and there are folks that are like sociologists that go, well, it's you need kind of like that social lubricant where it's like, cool, I'm gonna have 2 drinks and my inhibitions might go away. I started drinking just out of like performance anxiety, which that's another podcast.
Yeah.
But we got to go home now. Like, I might be back. There's a lot to unpack here. If Rob is smart, we're gonna do this. I'll see you guys next week. Now we got a weekly podcast here with like fucking
Part 2. Well, I tell you this, Sean, Mr. Spiffy. I have a so I have on my 100th episode, I typically will invite guests back and we do a total shit show recording while I get blasted and everyone else does too. So on my 200th, I feel like you would be perfect to come join. So we should maybe you can even play a song on the podcast.
You see what he did to me there? You see what that's a good podcaster, because what he did right there, guys, is he backed me right into a corner where, like, what?
If he says no, he's an asshole. But if he says yes, he's a hero.
Fucking hate me. Like, I'm like, you know what, Rob? Suck my dick. No, you can't. Hold on, give me.
We'll plan it out. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I'll do this like a guy who has been on like Good Morning Medicare. God bless John Cena. Oh my God, Rob. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come back on your podcast to celebrate your 200th episode. I would love the opportunity. I had such a great experience here today that I can't even pretend. I know. I can't even describe how excited I am to come back and do this again. Oh my gosh. What a great time.
Love it. Fantastic performance. You heard it here, folks. He'll be back for episode 200.
I'm fired. You must be fired. I'm always
fired. My podcast is Drink O'Clock Pod on all socials. Drink O'Clock Pod
said I can't come back, but you guys are great.
He's going to finish that drink, and I will see you guys next week.